The 125cc Sport ATV class is a small but very important part of the market. While there may be others out there, Pitster Pro's FXR 125R and Yamaha's Raptor 125 are the two main players in a class that will provide the next step up for young riders moving up from smaller machines, allow more classes in youth ATV racing, and most importantly, introduce many new riders to the fun of ATVing. Having already track and trail tested both the Raptor 125 and Pitster Pro FXR 125R, we can attest that both are capable performers, and each excels in its own way. The Raptor was designed as a good all-around sport ATV, while the Pitster Pro was designed more as a low-tech, out-of-the-box race machine. Making this comparison even more interesting, the machines share an identical retail price of $3,399, leaving us to compare rider preference, performance, and durability. Both machines have 124cc air-cooled 2-valve single overhead cam 4-stroke engines. The Pitster Pro's engine has a horizontal design, while the Yamaha cylinder is vertically mounted. A 22mm carburetor feeds the FXR 125, while a 29mm Mikuni feeds the Raptor. Kickstarting fires up the Pitster. The Yamaha features push-button electric starting. Both ATVs feature manual shift transmissions. The Raptor features a 5-speed design, while the FXR utilizes a close ratio 4-speed with neutral at the bottom of the pattern. The Pitster Pro features a beefy-looking chromoly frame, camber and caster adjustable chromoly A-arms, and a lightweight aluminum swing arm. The Raptor features a mild steel frame with non-adjustable dual A-arm front end and a rear swing arm. Both machines feature easy-to-use eccentric chain adjustment. The Pitster is outfitted with piggyback reservoir-equipped shocks front and rear. The shocks feature preload compression and rebound adjustment and control 8 inches of travel up front and 9 inches out back. The Raptor features 5-way preload adjustable shocks, controlling 7.5 inches of travel up front and 7.9 inches at the rear. Both machines have individually operated front and rear hydraulic disc brakes. The feature-packed FXR features dual piston front calipers, steel-braided brake lines, and a wave-style rear rotor. The FXR also has a uniquely designed reverse-facing rear brake pedal. The Raptor benefits from Yamaha's slick operating lever-activated parking brake. Traction is provided by the Pitster Pro by 19 610 front and 18 6.58 rear Carlisle tires wrapped around lightweight aluminum rims. These tires have been the industry standard in youth ATV racing for years. The Raptor's 19 610 front and 18 9/8 rear Maxxis tires were developed specifically for the 125. They are quickly becoming the new standard in youth ATV racing, especially for 90cc and above machines. Both rear tires share identical listed diameters, but the Yamaha's Maxxis are actually over 1 inch taller, plus notably wider. Yamaha outfitted the Raptor with a set of lightweight aluminum wheels. The Raptor is outfitted with plastic chassis and swing arm skid plates, a small lightweight front bumper, and the normal foot peg and heel guard setup. The Pitster Pro features a full-length aluminum chassis skid plate. Its swing arm features a round aluminum sprocket guard and separate rotor guard. The Pitster Pro comes with Nerf bars and heel guards. Our dealer removed the heel guards prior to us picking up the machine due to their awkward hinge design. The heel guards have to be flipped up in order to kickstart the engine. The front end is protected by a stout-looking aluminum cross-country style front bumper. The FXR measures in at 45 inches in width, 5 inches wider than the 40-inch wide Yamaha. The Yamaha has a 43.7-inch wheelbase compared to the Pitster at 43 inches. The Raptor's seat height is 28.1 inches, while the Pitster sits a bit higher at 29 inches. At 244 pounds wet, the Pitster Pro is 55 pounds lighter than the 299-pound Raptor. Our test riders consisted of 17-year-old former 2-time 90cc WPSA champion Alex Kersey, 300cc 4-stroke motocross racer Justin Flower, and 85cc women's class dirt bike racer Melanie Strode. Our shootout took place at Big Rock Off-Road Park and Early Wines Indoor Motocross, both located in Maysville, Kentucky. We laid out a small cross-country loop at Big Rock, which consisted of several high-speed straights, several decent climbs with a challenging rocky section, and one long descent. At Early Wines, our test riders put the 125s to the test on their indoor track, then rated the machines in detail. There, we also ran timed motos as the ultimate test of performance. The Pitster Pro wins the engine category in terms of all-out power. Its notably louder, free-flowing exhaust aids the FXR in producing a broad, strong power band. The Pitster produced a bit more bottom and notably more mid-range power, easily pulling the Raptor on long hills and hole shots. In top-end power, the Pitster tied with the Yamaha. It's possible that its top-end rating had more to do with the transmission's gear ratios than its actual high RPM power. When it came to transmission performance, the Pitster gave up some ground. Although it could easily pull a high gear, the spacing of the close ratio 4-speed made finding the ideal gear more difficult, as we discovered in the rhythm section at Early Wines. It took a bit more effort to click to the gears, and one rider noted that having neutral at the bottom of the shifting pattern is hard to get used to. The Pitster's engine tied with the Yamaha in overall effectiveness, and a good 5-speed transmission would have put it over the top. As it is, the Pitster Pro gives up around 0.4 of a point to the Raptor in overall engine performance. The Raptor's engine is strong and smooth, pulling well throughout the RPM range. It has good low-end torque, a smooth, seamless mid-range, and you can rev the guts out of it. It will hang with the Pitster Pro, but gives up some mid-range torque in trade for a quieter, yet more restrictive exhaust. The Raptor's gearbox is typical Yamaha. The 5-speed transmission shifts smoothly, its gear ratios are well spaced for all types of riding, and clutch pull is light and smooth. Good power plus superb shifting were enough to allow the Raptor to sneak past the Pitster Pro in the engine department. With its extra width and small tires, the race-ready Pitster Pro excels in both cornering and high-speed stability. Our riders noticed the front end's tendency to push in tight turns, so we backed all of the caster out of the adjustable A-arms, which helped somewhat. The FXR still prefers to be steered with the rear wheels at times, and is a predictable slider. The Pitster Pro gives up a bit in both weight feeling and weight balance ratings. Melanie actually scored the Pitster Pro 2 points lower than the Raptor for weight feeling. The Pitster is lighter than the Raptor, but it doesn't feel that way. The lighter feeling, more predictable steering Raptor surpasses the Pitster Pro by 0.9 of a point. The Raptor is a stable and very predictable handling ATV. It goes where it's pointed in turns, regardless of which line you choose. The 125's chassis was originally developed for the Raptor 250, so cornering and high-speed stability are very good. But its taller tires and narrower stance allow for a bit more body roll than the Pitster. Yamaha did a superb job of finding a good all-around setting for the Raptor's minimally adjustable suspension. Its larger tires, which roll over small obstacles more easily, aid the Raptor suspension in providing the plushest ride over rocks, roots, and small bumps. Fast trail riding and forgiving jumps are no problem for the Raptor shocks. However, once you start pre-jumping doubles or come up short, the heavier you are, the faster you'll find the limits of the Raptor suspension. Lighter or less aggressive riders can easily tackle whoops, but heavier and more aggressive riders will have to back off, as the Raptor's rear end begins kicking a bit. The Raptor's suspension is good, but its lack of adjustability hurts it in comparison to the Pitster. The only segment of suspension where the Pitster Pro fell behind the Raptor was in small bumps. The Pitster shocks are actually quite plush, however its shorter, narrower tires provide a rougher ride over trail junk. The adjustability of the FXR shocks was a huge asset. It was good that the shocks were that adjustable, as they took some time to get dialed in. On jump landings, they rarely found their limits, and our riders were charging notably harder through the whoops on the Pitster Pro. There were no split decisions when it came to brakes. The Pitster Pro's rear brake worked well, but one rider found the rear brake pedal hard to reach. In spite of its steel-braided brake lines and dual-piston calipers, the Pitster's front brakes felt soft. We tried bleeding them several times, with minimal success. It took less effort to slow the Raptor, or bring it to a halt. The brakes offered superb feel and very good power at both ends. Fit and finish are often the first thing to suffer when dealing with a smaller manufacturer. The Pitster Pro's ergonomics are a bit confused. A tall stem suits taller riders better, but the foot pegs are too far forward for riders of any size. The Pitster needs electric starting, or a redesign to the kickstarter, to allow for the use of a more conventional heel guard design. Vibration was also more pronounced on the FXR. The Yamaha's fit and finish ooze quality. The Raptor has well-spaced ergonomics with a very comfortable seat. Its controls feel perfectly shaped and work flawlessly. With a counterbalanced engine, vibration isn't an issue. After combining the rider ratings, the Raptor comes out on top. The Pitster Pro certainly shines in many areas of performance. However, it seemed that the refinement and comfort of the Raptor 125 made it the favorite with our riders. At early winds, we had all three of our riders run 2-lap motos on each machine with a gate drop start. The Pitster looked faster everywhere on the track. It dominated hole shots, could carry more corner speed, and could be pushed harder through the whoops. All three riders were 2 seconds faster in their motos on the FXR 125. To be fair, had we run lap times on our trail loop, results may have been different. The Pitster Pro had the advantage in unobstructed climbs due to its lighter weight and less restricted engine. But the Raptor was much easier to negotiate challenging rocky climbs with, thanks to its more accurate steering, narrower stance, plus the extra ground clearance and traction provided by its Maxxis tires. After individual testing, followed by a head-to-head shootout, we are happy to report no major failures from either ATV. The Pitster Pro's rubber front A-arm bushings broke down to the point that they fell off, leaving the front upper A-arms with a notable amount of flex. The sprocket guard looked as though someone had beaten the edges of it with a hammer, thanks to the rocks at Big Rock. The hammered guard never impeded chain movement and continues to function properly. It's pretty tough. The Pitster Pro's engine has made notably more valve noise than the Raptor since we received it from the dealer. We have checked the valves several times, and everything looks fine. The Raptor came through with only minor scratches, with the exception of its swing arm skid plate. In spite of having more ground clearance, the plastic skid plate couldn't hold up to the brutal rocks. A-arm bushings are a bit more important than a swing arm skid plate, and Yamaha's dealer network makes getting parts easier to come by. The edge in durability goes to the Raptor. If this were a Rider's Choice shootout, the Raptor would have clearly won. It swept in total average rider ratings in every performance category except suspension. The Raptor is simply a more refined machine in almost every way, proving that lots of small details are a huge deal. Lap times don't lie though. The Pitster Pro outperformed the Raptor regardless of rider size, weight, or skill level. It's faster around a motocross track and could be a capable youth woods racer or trail machine by switching to a wheel and tire set more like the Raptor's. For $3,399, you have two choices. Get a bit more performance and race-ready features from the Pitster Pro FXR 125R, or a more refined and supported Yamaha Raptor 125. Both machines are great in their own way. Picking a winner, that's up to you.